Hello and welcome back. I'm Bebo Joe and this is Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Lots of work being done. This area is almost finished. There was someone that pointed out I missed one crucial thing for the trolley buses, and then, well, we just keep on moving in the other direction because a new construction zone is pretty much necessary at this point. What did I miss, you may be asking, and the answer may not surprise you. Scrapping facility for... Ooh, is this actually done? Wow, they actually got the fencing all the way done. Cool. Scrapping facility for trolley buses. They cannot go automatically anywhere else. I did remember that I needed a, trolley power connection somewhere in there, so that needs to be connected too, and that's all fine. But yeah, I have no current way of getting, scrapping organized at all, not even a little bit, and that is, to put it mildly, not ideal. So that is definitely something we have to do. Luckily, that is a very easy fix, and well, we may be lucky about that or not. What the? Just let me put this last little thing in, even though I'm using the bulldozer for doing this. There you go. But yeah, where are we going to place that? Probably somewhere in the middle of where we have a lot of, well, ideally workers coming in, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm first going to upgrade all of these road pieces. Yes, they will take a little longer to build. No, I don't care that much about it, because this is the bare minimum that we have to have done for these road pieces to actually be completed. We could speed up the construction here a little bit by keeping longer roads available, but you know what? I'm okay with this right now, because let's be honest, the construction crews that we have been doing a relatively good job keeping up with all the things that we wanted them to do. So let's trust them that they will get this done eventually, because we already have a road at least started over here, and currently mechanisms, we don't need you, so you are allowed to do a little bit of auto search if you really absolutely need to make that happen. That's fine. Asphalt is missing. That is interesting, because I need to check something. How are you doing? Bills about drinking water. I don't think that is the end of the world right now. Bitumen is going through there. We have a truck here that is filling up. Should we bring some drinking water in and some sewage water out somehow? I'm thinking of normal trucks, and honestly, no, not really. That truck got what it wanted. It just took a little longer than what we may prefer. But no, I don't think I want to add just the internal water supply for this thing to make anything work better than it has already. So no, we're just going to leave that alone. Ambulance not arrived. Happiness has dipped down to 75%. That may be bad, may be good. We should... Winters are not a terrible place to check what's wrong, because this is usually where most of your stuff will come out and tell you, hey, this is terrible. Booze, that's fine. Electronics, 11 people, meh. Starving, 1,000 people, not ideal. Crime, 11,000 affected by it, that makes sense. We do have crime coverage pretty much everywhere, so I don't think that is our main issue right now, meaning I don't believe that that is a problem. So it's just stay with that belief, I guess. How's it going over here? We have a couple snowplows in. We are going 3,500 meters. All that seems okay, and I did realize that I told you something that I wanted to do with the electronics that is not allowed. I don't want to directly export anything. No. I want everything to go to a container packing facility and export stuff if we have something left over, which, let's be honest, we have to produce that much electronics first before we can talk about, oh yeah, we would like to do the export thing. So there is a lot of time before we can really contemplate or do anything about that, and that is fine. Right now, I would like to get our technical service in here, and we will simply get the big boy like this. Probably right here. We could put you here and give you a couple extra road connections if you want it, but no, this technical service office is supposed to mostly concentrate on what we have here, and if I can get a gooder connection, no, that power pole is just in the way. I don't really want to squeeze you in here. could try to squeeze you there, but none of those are really striking me as great spots, as they say. I could do this one, and then it would look just a little better. Is that really what you need here, or could you just be happy with what it is? I could totally be happy with what it is, but no, I want this guy. And that will be responsible for a little bit of cleaning, etc., etc. We have a small technical service office here and a large distribution office. Okay, this small one is probably not going to handle all of our snow needs, so I think there's a high chance that we will add at least one more technical service office, mostly for snowplows, just in this area. And now that I'm saying that, I may as well just make that a reality. We use the same size, hopefully, as long as you fit. You don't even fit a little bit, not here at least, so that's not cool. We may as well then just grab you and put you in here. Is that where you really want to go? Yeah. I don't love it, but I don't really have other plans for this spot, so we may as well make that a thing. And someone pointed out that this kind of looks like barracks, and I'm like, yeah, because Special Forces base that just does things now, and I think I'm okay with that. That looks good. By the way, I don't have a good way to get coal delivered to this, because everything that we have is not loading trucks with coal, at least as long as if I remember right. If we look over here, here's the heating plant. We have coal coming in here by train, that's fine. Then obviously we have a ton of coal coming in here by not train, but this guy is not connected to anything. None of these guys are connected to anything. If I'm lucky, I may be able to squeeze some coal out of here. Let's see if that is a reality. You can always pick up directly from the storages, but it is much slower. But because that is just allowing me to make this connection, and we have this guy here as well, that will be fine. Now we have coal. Cool. At least coal by truck. And it's a long distance to drive, so let's not underestimate that, but we do have the connection made. And I'm thinking two... I don't know if this one has one or two connections on it. Let's just put it that way. But we will have some trucks being able to dump something off there, and that should be fine. Cool. Scrapping facility. You wanted it somewhere. Okay. I am feeling that that scrapping facility is just going to go up here. That scrapping facility, in short, will have bursts of materials coming in, and that's not great. I don't actually want the scrapping facility that far away from everything else, simply because there are a ton of buses and a ton of other things driving in this general vicinity that I would like to take care of. So maybe a scrapping facility down here doesn't work. It has to be on the line. Okay, on the line really means you don't have that many options. So you can plop it here. Ooh, let's see. Do we want a large or a small scrapping facility? That is an excellent question, and I am not 100% sure. 90 workers versus 280 workers, I think. What the heck is this? That's the harbor. It's the scrapyard for the harbor. Scrapping facility small. This is what we're looking at. I think if I try, I can make this thing fit here. If I try. I don't know if I want to try yet. T to flip you around, R. So if I try, I can fit you in here, but then we still have to find locations where everything that you will take as waste will go. Luckily, this is saying you are actually connected. I didn't expect it to say that, but we have 338 meters to the trolley bus stop that's up north, and that is a really good sign, because we will start with this. What I really don't have anywhere in the Republic, and I think power we don't have yet, but we don't have that anywhere. What we really don't have in the Republic is a solidified collection. Solidified collection of all the materials that get collected in the scrapyard facility, because it's quite a bunch of random things that get collected in there. We don't need all of them equally, especially not since we are importing most of them by ship, so we never have the capacity anywhere in the buildings to say, oh yeah, we need exactly this right now, right here. So that hasn't really happened that way, which feels like something we should probably address at some point. But anyways, These guys are doing what they're supposed to do. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Scrap your facility is right here. And now in the winter, we can use a little bit of this time to do a quick update on where our power facilities or where our power comes from for all of these facilities that we have here. And we do want to make sure that we cover everything with 2 of you. Electric substation 1 right there, electric substation 2. We're going to pretend that this is almost mirrored. It's not really mirrored, but almost mirrored for sure. And now, yeah, that if you can go in here, that would be cool, but it's not letting me do the thing right now. Excuse me. Can I, whoa, there we go. Oh, the problem is that there's already a building here. Yeah, that's not going to work. Also, if there's a building there, we're going to have a really hard time to get any power line into the area, so that wouldn't work anyways. Let's may as well just expand that and see what we can do now. We could pull some power from here. I don't think I want that yet. We're clearly not collecting any, but we're still clearly not pulling any power in, and that is okay. But now I'm a little worried that our electrical factories over here will pull too much power for what we have. Max power consumption per day, 6.3 megawatt hours. Very important, ignore that number. The circuit breaker is the number that you actually care about, 105 kilowatt. What is that number? That is 6.3 divided by 60 hours. Gets you to the megawatt numbers. In this case, it would be 0.0105-ish. There's some rounding in there, and I don't think that rounding is always right, but you only have to care about 105 kilowatt hours. Not a lot. A full wire, a big wire, can handle 2.3. And we should have that much power available here, although I'm still talking about how this should be the end of this line, because we are already consuming a good 10 megawatts down here. I think this was the starting point. Yeah, we're not 15, 16. That is the end. We're not going to connect any more power lines to this thing, so that is something else we can get started right now by getting more of the... more main power lines connected to all of this. I think in this case I would not mind running these power lines near the road. So let's see what we can do here. You just want to go on the other side of the road? I'm okay with that. That's fine. Do something very similar on this side, and then remember that you probably want a fuel station somewhere in the vicinity of all of this. Okay, I'm going to do that right now because I will forget and not remember. I'm trying to abuse that fuel station out that power line out there. Oh, this is great. This is perfect. A little bit off the beaten path. This is great because this should give us a good buffer for where vehicles just have to go to get refueled. So that feels nice, and we still have all that room right here to do whatever we need to do with. It may just become a large distribution hub for different things, like taking care of the miscellaneous scrapping facility materials that will eventually just show up in this area, and I'm okay with all of that. This kind of is working out, not quite the way that I would have loved it to look, but I think it's quite okay. So we may as well continue with that as long as we can. You go there, and then, yeah, we're just going to do this game of finding the pylon, and that is fine. Okay, done, connected, cool. You may be thinking I was lying about the new construction zone, but no, we are getting really far away, and you may remember that I was talking about a new construction, rare construction office somewhere in the area as well, which we're getting there. I think, putting something on here would be cool. F2 will show me a little bit. Yeah, this is another really nice place to put a city. There's a really nice place here to put a city. There's a nice place there to put a city. Nice place here to put a little village. Another little village. Another little village. This is all just way too white. I need more color on this map, but it's almost spring. It's already middle of January, so just one more month in-game time, and we will be ready to save our eyesight again, which is super cool, right? Yes, great. Okay. You are planning on kind of continuing that way. That's fine. You're kind of planning on continuing this way. Also fine. I was talking about how this rail may have to go into a tunnel there, and I'm not convinced that that doesn't need to happen. The only issue with tunnels in these situations is that the rail tunnels want to be really long. which makes them really ugly. But I do think we need them. So let's get our excavators back to where they're supposed to be. Yes, confirm that. Send them home. Thank you very much. And talk to this guy, because that will also get us a little bit of a relief with all this whiteness and snow and stuff. So this is the height that we have, 14.9 meters. We want to get to the same height here. And I would assume that there is a chance that the rail needs to continue straight just for a little while. I just don't know for how long exactly. But we should give it a chance to continue straight, but we will have the main line continue to the right at this point. And then if we don't need the extension, then that is fine. We just don't need it. I would like this to make a little faster progress, actually. I don't know why it is as slow as it is, but it is. Therefore, we are. But that will be, that's just the thing that we're seeing here. Okay, we are getting nice and white now. Perfect. So let's just make sure that we go a little wider there. I would like this nice and flat, but we will see how things look when we're done with it. I just need a good enough high spot pretty much anywhere around where the road is going to go that our tunnels can actually do the thing that we want them to do. We're getting very close. We're getting very close to where we actually need to go. And if you ever get into a situation where you feel like your terraforming has stopped terraforming and doesn't go up anymore, there's a good chance that it's not the terraforming's problem. The problem is that you are already in a high spot somewhere, and like the slopes everywhere around it are just too much that it can't handle that. So that can happen. If you get into those situations, just take a look at it and let me know. Cool. I would really like this. This-ish. Okay, this-ish, and then this-ish. Yeah, that's what I thought. we don't have enough freedom to make this thing happen. Why? Stop. It's been more complicated than I need it to be. But I think here we actually should have enough groundwork available to actually go through. That looks good. This may just be a little bit too sharp of a turn. I think the game would be like, no, I can totally get you. But I feel like any train driver that will go through this is going to be like, gotta be kidding me, not again. This guy just doesn't know how to put in curves. To which I would say, how'd you know? Railway. And you can see that this is not quite the angle, or not quite a good enough angle for us to get a good front in there in terms of railway tunnels. So let's see if we can cut into this just a little bit to have a little more of a chance. That looks good. At the same time, we're just going to pull this out. And I'm just really looking at this red line down there to get that one come out a little further for us. And I'm going to make some similar bump on that side and see if we can get the tunnel the way that we need it now. Is this the first tunnel that I'm building here? No, there was another crossing near the power plant that also needed a tunnel that's not much unlike this one. So it's definitely not the first one, but this is certainly going to be the tightest radius one. Am I just going to leave this as it is? Is that a problem? It's not more sharp than that curve right there. Having you a little nicer would not be the end of the world, but I also don't want to spend all that much more time on this, so let's just call this one good enough. And here's the thing that just happened that I didn't want to happen. What happened? I'll show you, and it's really ugly. So this is what it did. Our tunnel is now cut through by the road that runs right above it, and obviously it looks kind of wrong. If we click this button, we can actually delete all of that. So that didn't work out. That's fine. The game just reminded me of something else that we can do, which is, well, you can flatten out everything with road like this if there are pieces that you like, and you can also go and increase the height of other pieces, pretty much like we've done before, but you can flatten out everything in between a little more purposefully, potentially, with the rail pieces that you have. And now I am partially tempted. Looks like my excavator's actually going to go out and refuel now. Yep, that's fine. I'm partially tempted to let the rail continue, go through this tunnel, and then we just have the road kind of cross there and then go down here into wherever it wants to go, at which point we wouldn't require a tunnel to go through here, but I really wanted a tunnel. I really, really did want a tunnel. We also have an option for using another road bridge, obviously, the same one that we had here already, but I would also like to avoid that behavior if I could. Because the game is saying, no, this is fine, and this is kind of the path that I would like to take. And I kind of, yeah, I don't have an excavator right now. I'm aware of that. Go away. And I can't place anything, but if I do something like this, then continue a straight line from here, continue a straight line from here. I think F4, are you even on? Not quite, and this is obviously not a very flat piece of track, but we can fix that when we get to it. And you would go in there, you would go in there. Yes, so far so okay. This is hard. This is the harder part, and it's already kind of going up onto that mountain, so I don't think this is a good idea. And regardless, as you can see, the tunnel is kind of up there, which is not where we want it. We want it actually much further down the hill. Otherwise, it will always look ugly, so that didn't quite work. But we could have a tunnel entrance here. We'll press Q, Q. Now we have a straight piece of tunnel. Okay, technically, this is where we want to start. There's the other one. And then this guy would need to come out here. I'm not sure why it doesn't want me to connect to that guy, but let's see. It may have been connecting. I was just saying something else along the way. E. What's going on here? Yeah, it's just connecting to a weird thing that we don't want. There's the actual tunnel entrance, which is what we want. But you're above ground at some stage, which is not what we want. But, ooh. No. Okay, the thing here is now that the rail connection will definitely just show the trains coming out of the ground, and that is not even acceptable for me. I don't think we can make that happen. Okay, are my excavators back to where they are useful? Yes, they are. Very good. So bulldozers would be better here, as usual, but we don't have bulldozers. So if you don't have bulldozers, what exactly do? You use excavators. How do you use the excavators? You need use them effectively, like try to put a shopping center up here and make everything flat with steep cliff sides on the outside. And the two excavators are making relatively fast progress on this, so don't make fun of me, but this is the cheat code for terraforming if you need something relatively flat, plateau-like, somewhere in the area where you want to build something. And now that we have that, I feel that we will just add a little straight piece of like tunnel entrance right there, and the same thing can probably happen over here, which you can see I'm trying to make this semi-straight, like that a tunnel can actually go through here and come in and out on both sides and not look like a complete fool, but I'm not sure that we're done yet. Also, I'm doing so much terraforming that at this point, is it really still using whatever was here before, or are you just forcing a tunnel in there? I think I'm just forcing a tunnel in here. Let's be honest. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. You're not doing anything. You're just watching. Thank you for watching, by the way. This tunnel, how are you looking? Like the tunnel on this side looks good. The tunnel on this side looks semi-acceptable, but not great. But if I can get this one in here, then we may actually be able to call this good enough. Because at least, well, the tunnels are not quite exactly next to each other, but they are probably usable that way. Let's see, is there anything I need to change about this? F3, what does that look like? Oh, that looks totally perfect. Exactly like we wanted this to be. Absolutely not. Let's try that again. But we're close to done now. What I would like is to take this one back, actually, because this connection looked better. And then see if we can get something a little straighter out of here, because that should give a much better entrance and exit for the tunnel in general. Okay, that looks okay. I am still not convinced that we're not going to want to go through here, so let's give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room, just a little bit, doesn't have to be a lot. We're going to take this one back and actually, oh come on, F4? Nope. Nope. Okay, up to there. And then a little bit of rail and go straight through here because there is a nice chance of actually putting a bridge into this area. I just don't know what we're going to do with this connection yet. Plus, it is not a true connection to this piece of rail, which may be a problem. It may be better to actually put a junction back here behind the tunnel versus putting a junction right there, because the tunnel is so short that it doesn't make a huge difference, but I would not mind using this bridge right here. That should be a pretty easy addition. Let's do this. Let's stay relatively flat right there. Let's do this. Yes, I know that it looks like someone did a lot of terraforming here, and that is because I did, but I wanted to, therefore I could. Let's make you go here. Let's get another bridge, but in this case, I would not mind a steel bridge. Is this going anywhere? No, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't have to go anywhere. This is more here for moral support to make me feel better about the things that I've already done, and it may be okay that way. I don't love how that's not centered. I don't think you're going to get anything centered unless you look take the long beam bridge. Nope, that one's not even going to get you any connection in there. We could do the wooden bridge, but that's also going to be pretty lame. Do you want to connect to something? No, I don't want the pillars to be as uneven as they are there. I think I can't turn off the UI. No, if I turn off the UI... Back in the day, I think you can actually turn it off and it would still let you do behaviors, but not anymore. Now you just have to look at this and be like, this is not even. Not even a little bit. But it's fine. So now that is connected to this side. I don't know what we're going to do with this, but it is connected and we have this connection, and now we have a river valley. Not a river, a bridge valley right out here, and that will get us connected to whatever we need. So that feels fine. Road connection here or a rail connection here? Well, if you want rail, I'm surprised that winter is still here because we have spent a significant amount of time now, but that's okay. You also have not brought any... Oh, this one is done. Good. You also have not brought any water and sewage out here, so that has to still happen. That's okay. You were talking about construction area. Okay. If you want to be serious about getting construction out here, maybe you should get that one started. Good call. Let's make sure that everything gets put into action, and then there's a ton of room right here for additional construction. I think there's more room right here. Okay, everything is melting. This is at the end of this loop-de-loop. That's not a bad thing because it's also connected to that road coming in here. And this is something I'm very okay with building with helicopters that we have available. We did lose a couple people if you want to care about that, but workers with higher education, we're now at 41% again, so that's honestly a good thing. But yeah, we did lose a couple people that were maybe just old. I don't know. Still, nope, it's going up and down. So it's kind of going both directions. So it's something that I don't think I have to pay too much attention to. That's great. Let's see. If rail goes out this way, we do have a lot of room that we can utilize here, but there's also a lot of room that we can also think about farms. And if we keep looking, there's not that much farmland, honestly. There's this volcano island that we can use. But overall, I should not waste my flats to non-farm farm areas, although there's a lot of flat right here. And yeah, if we have to build some construction, we should build it relatively soon. So let's build it right here. Yeah, okay, good idea, great thought. Let's build it. What do we need? We just need the basics. We just need all the basics, and I like to bring all the basics in via train. There is a chance that we should just... why are you getting distracted again? Because I think we're getting to the point where we can start building rail from both sides, so we have a fully surrounding rail line set up, and that will be cool. How are the guys doing over here? 12 without a job, you without a job. How much coal do we have sitting there? This looks great. 12 tons, 20 tons, 20 tons, no tons. That is good. We have coal sitting here. You guys are doing what you're supposed to do. You are doing okay. I'm guessing we don't have a backup of anything here. I'm surprised this is all working. We haven't seen this in a little while, but it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. Workers without a job, that's a problem we can solve in time. But yeah, Is it time to start our rail construction to go through this mountain? That is a very large mountain, and to get there, we probably want to go splice off here, go for the pylons, go through this little piece of mountain, and then go all the way across here, and then we're in the Great Plains and are kind of connected, although all of those connections will be relatively hard. I do want a full loop for the trains. I'm not 100% sure where I want that loop yet, so we'll have to just keep an eye on that. But for now, let's build new construction. New construction has a couple things that it always needs. The big one is gravel. How much gravel? You'll be surprised how much gravel is actually required. 2,000 tons is just a good size for the trains that we have running through here, so we may as well get started with this right now. Get the road connections on the other side because that makes my life easier, and plop it in there. Cool. That's number one. Number two would be all the basic construction, which would be, and yeah, this is, again, helicopters can construct this because it does take a long time for all of this stuff to actually happen. Okay, concrete plant right here. Sure, why not? Asphalt plant right next to it. Yeah, absolutely. That's how we roll now. Do you want the asphalt plant to be a little offset so we have a straight connection? Yeah, sure, why not? But it didn't actually connect, so you have to try this again and hope that you get the right connection. Don't do the wrong connection. No, so that don't work. Asphalt plant, we do have the option of putting it here, but that's too far away from my taste. We have the option of putting it here, and there's no output conveyor belt connection right there, so we're just gonna have to hope that this works better, and it did. Cool. Yeah, we are blocking a little bit of this, but that should not be the end of the world. Plus, we will always need a bus station to deliver our workers, to this general area. Do you remember the problem that I always run into where we have workers and vehicles on lines that end up effectively blocking each other? Yeah, me too. This cannot be part of the main line. That's important. I think we did a better job on the line and the construction zones that we had there. But it also needs to be separate enough from all the other stuff where that doesn't become a real problem in the first place. So let's just run you out here. I do see that that bus stop is not even remotely straight connected, but I'm okay with that. You would like to connect in here, but we also need a cement, not that dry bulk, yes. Cement storage right next door. We have this humongous one that has only these connections, but honestly, these will work. Okay, just plop you in there, and that's fine. That's a thing we definitely don't have to deliver with train. For a while, train would be the best, but it doesn't have to be train the whole time, so keep that in mind. Pipes, liquids, yes. Storage, fuel for bitumen. I like the 300 tonner. That gets us enough flexibility, but also enough speed. We're just going to put you on this side and see how we're going to connect something in there. That one is easy because we could bring liquid storage rail connections in here and use the underground pipes to get all the connections in that we would want from there. So that's all easy and connected. We still need water and sewage. We have the workers in there, so that's good. What is left on these two? Nothing. Great. What else do we need? We will need a truck aggregate loader, just like so. Okay. Have you figured out where you're going to get your gravel delivered to? Well, they will be delivered by train because that is a terrible one to do by trucks. But I was hoping I can squeeze in on the outside here. So let's see if that is actually the case. You... truck aggregate unloader, train aggregate unloader, yes. Probably one of these, and I'm not going to abuse the system this time to get a... Actually, I want to flip you around and rotate you. There we go. I'm not going to abuse the system this time to get a free... free what? To get a free... coal delivery out of this. I don't think that's necessary in the situation that we're in here, so this should be fine. There is that. Okay. Decide if you want your cement delivered or if you want to pick up your cement just down the road here, which is right there, We just don't have a cement loading station on it. Oh! Uh-oh. I was being clever here. I forgot about that. That is much better. I can use a normal cargo station to deliver the rest of these things, as well as this thing, which is going to be very important. I like that. I'm glad I looked at it, because that is hella cool. Is that what the kids say nowadays? Probably not. Let's be honest, probably not. But if we want that, then this one is going to have a hard time to exist right next to this guy. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. We just need a little bit of extra work. Also, this doesn't have the factory connection, so I know that this current layout is not going to quite do what we needed out of it. Dry bulk again. Okay, cement silo. That's the one that we know is going to have a connection that we want here. That looks fine. Where's my road connection? Road connection is on that side. Interesting, but we only got one factory connection. Okay. If I pretend that this one has to be very close to here, we can pretend that. Then we have a lot of room in the middle. We do need to connect this one to something, but we can also probably flip this around mostly. And in the worst case, we can just get a piece of road there and a piece of road here. That was terrible connection. If we do this road connection there, and then you kind of in here and in here, and remove that one, we have some road taken care of over there. If you can't tell, I'm considering making a terminal station here that would allow us to deliver this, but would also need to allow us to deliver the rest of the materials for the station. And I think one really easy peasy terminal station is this one that could allow us to do all of that. Would be cool if this one had the opportunity or ability to I'm actually gonna flip you around. The game is just like, sorry buddy, I don't want to calculate all the factory connections for you. Good luck, and be on your way, please. So if I place you here, this is a humongous station, I understand that. But, excuse me, you need to go in there. Very good, and that's the connection that we needed out of this. Let's not build it right away, because we're nowhere near done yet. Then we are using a lot of the room that I didn't expect us to actually use on this side, but that is fine. Let's get another road connection in there so I don't forget that. And then we do need this road connection right here, but we now no longer need a truck route to connect to that. This one can go back a little further because this is the road piece that we care about. You go there, you go there. Cool. All right. Connect this. Now we need a bunch of... Ooh! I see an opportunity to turn this into the main route, or the main line that goes through here, and all of these guys just connect into this junction back here, instead of the reverse being true. I like that, because now we get the passengers in, and everything else kind of goes from here or goes to here, and I would put the construction offices on that side, mostly. That feels okay-ish. All right, let's get your storages, and I think we could be okay with using just small storages, not just for space reasons. What did I use over here? Because they have seemed to produce just what I needed. Yes, they are right here. And we could say that we could fill these in with trucks, but then we have to maintain trucks and do all that stuff. That does not sound super exciting. So instead of doing that, I think we will do these. Let's see how this works out. We need 4 of these, obviously. This is not going to be any city delivery. We need 4 of these, and we just are missing a little bit of space out here because we also need a warehouse connected to this, and I don't think there's going to be sufficient space right here. So what we really have to do is move all of that down just a couple meters. For American viewers, a meter is not as long as you think. Thank you, American viewers. I do think it's very amusing. Yeah, I kind of figured that this is going to be a thing now. I do think it's very amusing that in the US, very often, you will use anything but the imperial system to measure stuff. Anything. You will not say how many feet or yard or whatever it is, or inches. You will just say, Ah, yeah, that looks like 2 washing machines next to each other. It's like a football field. It's like, it's just, I'm not harping on the measurement. Honestly, I am an amateur woodworker, and one of the things that I had to find out, and here's some information that may be controversial, so close your ears if you're not into that, that if you consider a tape measure, any of them, and you compare the one, hey Earthquake, I don't have time for you right now. If you compare them, wow, this is on, not on the island. How is there still this much stuff that needs repair and is not being repaired? This is ridiculous. But we don't have time for that right now. Yeah, the tape measure. If we consider the tape measure, then standard and imperial, there is a clear winner for hobby woodworkers, which is imperial, because imperial allows you to take more measurements in the same space. What am I talking about? Consider how much an inch is. Okay, whatever measurement that is, and it translates to something, and this was still too far away, and I love it. Consider how much an inch is. I think an inch is about 2 point, this is gonna work, cool, 2 point some centimeters, right? 2.4 or something like that. Okay, if you look at the tape measure and compare that in the millimeters, in millimeters, 2.4 has exactly, say it with me, 24 ticks, or 24 millimeters on the tape measure. And there's not a tape measure that I know that can show you half a millimeter, because that's a lot. My nose is itchy because I don't know if I'm lying or what I'm talking about, but yeah, so that's the first thing. A tape measure in metric will show you 24 millimeters for the 24 millimeters that are in an inch. An inch, however, will show you everything measured in 16th. Okay? And over the same span, you have more ticks on a standard tape measure than on a metric tape measure. Is that super useful? If you do it right, if you do an amateur woodworking right or professional woodworking right, then you measure less. You fit, you don't measure. And that is much more important, that you use the correct like distance for whatever you have, and not the correct measurement for whatever you have. So if you know that your gap is X, your gap is this workpiece, instead of this workpiece is 3 inches wide, or 6 centimeters, 6 some centimeters, and therefore I need to measure this on the table saw. You take the workpiece and put it on, I don't know, a crosscut sled or whatever you have, and put the workpiece in there and make that one the width for between your stop and the saw, and that's what you're cutting. You don't measure that piece, you just approximate it with known pieces, and you just build it to specs that way. It's much more healthy that way to build something, at least from what I understand. Okay, so we have this guy built out here now, because this is a not so important piece of connection. Let's see if we can get a little bit of road up here, because we already make this, we made this plateau. We may as well use it somewhat reasonably, and get you in there, and then we can say, okay, if we do you there, then the rail can kind of just follow on the outside of this and make this a nice look for our rail spotter fans, because rail spotting is a wonderful hobby and trains are cool. So we're going to get this one here. That's fine. Get that connection just next to it. That's also fine. We're clearly not done, because we have to get all these connections in, and you could argue that this warehouse, I don't like what I just did. Why do I not like what I just did? I'll let you think about that. I need to connect to all these storages somehow, but the way that I just built this, I cannot. Well, okay. I may have trouble fitting some construction offices here, and we know what happens when I build construction offices that will be obstructed by everything else that goes on there. We're not going to get any workers in because everything is kind of blocked by themselves. That is not super helpful. However, I think there are several ways to fix this. How am I going to solve this access problem? A simple one is the rail can go further away. Yes. Yes, it can. But you know what I don't want? I don't want the bus station to be dependent on getting through all of this. That in certain situations can be blocked. And we're not going to have any progress. Now, construction trucks are supposed to be smart enough to go somewhere, and if they can't pick up something to go away, great. But they will still slow everything down. And you know how things work when, well, you don't have workers. So let's take these out just for a moment. Then let's pretend that this road is going to get special treatment, and I will figure out what exactly that means in just a minute. So get those in here, get this in here as well. And this will be the only bus connection to the back potentially there. I'm not 100% sure yet. Then with that, that means this road is also going to go away, at least from the current, well, the current setting configuration. Yeah, those are all words that you can use. Good job. And get you in there and get your warehouse in. Then get me a couple construction offices. And I'm really talking about, you remember, we've done a lot of, well, you need 2 fully functional construction offices to reconstruct each other. That's important. Outside of that, you really don't need that much. So I'm thinking right now, 3 construction offices, 24s may not be terrible. They may not be terrible option if we can have options. Enunciate, please. If we put them opposite of each other, then these should be totally capable of doing all the things that we wanted to do. We can put a lot of flatbed trucks in here, and these can handle like all the construction needs from this side. That should be okay. I think the buses I can really tell to not go through there, so we can make this outside track. Let's see. I would like this. Yeah, nice and tight to the construction office. That's good. With that in mind, well, the rail will just go more on the outside of this. That's okay. I think here we have a chance to pull around. That's cool. Then you will just become our general outlet. But it's not going to be the main connection for the buses, I don't think. And if it is, for whatever reason, we can put a waypoint in here and then force them to use the outside route. So that feels good. These 2 construction offices will take care of everything that we have here, plus mechanisms, because we will have flatbeds on here that can carry all of those vehicles. That's all good. This road has to be connected somewhere, and we will do that when time is right. Out here. Okay, let's be smart. Let's be smart, because this is currently not working the way it is. If I want to pick up my dumpage, all the gravel from right there, we have to pick it up from the right side. So vehicles can leave the construction office and turn right to get gravel. And then they don't block it themselves to get that gravel. Could we use a faster gravel loading station? Yes, we could. But you know me, that's not really how I want to play. So that's the first one. This is just for gravel trucks. Should we use the gravel trucks to do asphalt? I think that is a valid question, and I wish that the answer was a clear yes, but in my mind it is not a clear yes, so we're not going to do that yet. There's a little bit of room here that we can probably restructure a little bit. I would like it if this can fit in here, and I think we can actually make this happen somehow, somewhat. Let's see, if we do a little more reconstruction around our roads here, then all we really need, you see that little red dot on the top right, yeah, that's what we needed. Then this road can come out here, wonderful. This road will just turn into a little bit of a Y intersection right there. Why do we have to do that? Just because why not? And now we have the same logic that I just explained with the gravel trucks, where they can turn right, they can get their cement from here and can pick it up right away, and they shouldn't block themselves. Ideally. Is that going to happen that way? Ideally. But this should be fine. And that, yeah, that I'm okay with that spacing. I feel like this is all good. And then we do have 16 trucks over here, dump trucks, and yeah, we do have 4 full construction offices. There's more than enough here. These are the 2 construction offices that will have mechanisms in them. Both of them will, so they can repair everything that is in this general vicinity. Speaking of which, if I do care about repairs and such, I should give myself a way to get to the mechanical components industry region. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Let's turn the terraform on so we can see where we're going, and I don't think we need to go there. That's like a big old mountain just waiting for us, and I don't think we want to go there. Instead, we're going to go on the side of the mountain. Don't know what I want to do with this road yet, if this one should connect to the main road at some point, or if this just becomes the main road in this situation. Road traffic is really not that prevalent in this game. If you have too much traffic at your border, I think it says more about needing a different mode of transport for whatever you're transporting than the game not handling traffic. The game does not handle traffic very well. Most junctions don't get translated very well, but it's very possible to do whatever you need to do in-game with the tools that you are given. So I feel very confident in saying user error is more likely than any other error. So hopefully that arrives in a healthy healthy way, because I meant that friendly. I see that complaint that well, custom house traffic jams happen all the time is a thing where people are like, oh no, it's terrible, it can't even handle simple traffic. I'm like, yeah, it's your job to do the logistics thing, so do the logistics thing, and then you wouldn't have that problem. This looks okay. We do need this one to also kind of partake in the connection here, and maybe that piece of road just has to come back a little bit. This is a longer piece of track. It's not super long, but it's clearly a longer piece of track that I don't want to cross over or do anything funky with. And then let's keep everything nice and simple. Let's make this a very simple diamond crossing. No, please let me just this once, let me finish the thought that I had with the build that I want. Okay, you don't like that right away. That's fine. How about trying it the opposite way? The opposite way is totally going to work. So this one can get everything delivered that we need from what I can see, and we just need a distribution office to actually make that happen. So far, so good. I may have just found a reason why this rail needs to come out a little further in terms of where the tunnels are currently placed, but luckily none of that got constructed yet. And this, if this turns into a sharp turn, I'm okay with that. Why? Because it is a construction access. It is not a oh, come on. It is not, I don't want to say not real access. It is real access. It's just not a mainline access, so the trains that go in here have no business going too fast. This feels okay. I don't actually want to signal there. This is just bitumen. How do you get your bitumen here? I think the bitumen will just have to get there from the other places, and that's okay. If you're doing all of this anyways, there's probably no reason to really double track any of this, but it looks a little... Does it look better? Yeah, sure. Otherwise, there's also an option of just having both of these feed into the same track, and then it's in and out is all on the same side. But this should be fine. Does this block the main line? Potentially. This potentially hinders the main line, but honestly, this is a siding that will only be used intensely for a short period of time, and after that period, everything will be done and over with, and we don't have to worry about those connections anymore. So I feel good with what we've created now. So let's get all that assigned and someone build it. That feels good. There are some road pieces that have to be turned into not whatever they're doing, and that's okay. We do not have a power connection here yet. We are getting our footpath connections in, which is super exciting, because that means we can get this one in and this one in, as well as this one in. and this one in, and then clearly all of these need to go in as well. Yep, 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 yep. So all the short pieces, and once all the footpaths are in, we can then worry about the trash connections and those things as well. But that feels relatively good. This is a footpath connection already there. There are people moving in already. You're doing it wrong. No, this is not quite ready. Honestly, it may be almost ready because we really don't need anything. As long as it's not winter, that's not really a problem. Yeah. Once we have this bus station ready, which just means we can turn it into high priority, we can honestly turn on the city if we just send a couple buses down here, and then life will actually be fine. Didn't expect to say that, but as you can see, that is kind of what's going to happen there, and that's okay. Rail crane, you are building things wonderfully. I'm really proud of you, but there's more to do. Can you do that one, that one, that one, and that one? Wonderful. Thank you very much. Happy about this. We need power. We need all those things. Remember the thing where we said we're not going to add any more power connections to run through here? Yeah. It fluctuates a lot. I think we have a tiny bit more power available that we can probably use. That's really going to be the last one. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're not going to add any more power lines over here because that would be silly. You know that I'm kind of kidding, but that's kind of where we are. Where are we on time? Okay, let's see. What is the next thing we're going to do? So this is all going to happen. I feel like either here or here is going to be a rail construction office that we're going to add to the shenanigans that we already have, which is fine. I do think that this is going to turn into a city. That's also fine. I would like to add a dispatch service here that can do the things that I want you to do, but I don't think there's a really easy way. Also, I need to put a couple of these trains in here as like a temporary train to just wait there. I think that will look really cool. I am tempted to either use electric rail. Okay, this is more interesting. If I use rail, and we can just pretend that we're going to use light rail again or something similar, and I know it's not light rail because it's little diesel rail, but if we use any rail on that section, we could send them out here and put an end station like we have on the view really close to the city, and then we just overload that with trains so that they can get relieved relatively quickly and make it all the way to the station. Once they make it to the station, they will just take the outside track, which is currently not used at all, up to right behind the fuel station where they can where everything gets recombined, and they would have to go in here and turn around, or go into the steel mill and turn around there, and then make it all the way back here. Is that ideal? No. I just know that once this turns into more of a mainline section, we do have to accommodate that. And the alternative to this is obviously just put a simple bus station there, but who wants a simple bus station there? That's super boring. So yeah, I think we're going to use probably normal trains, because I want them to be able to move fast enough that the cargo trains can go through here without any real problems. But yeah, cargo trains with a couple passenger wagons attached to it, that should take care of it, and then we can actually use this piece of the track as well as this piece of road to connect into the city that we're going to have here, which probably translates to rail construction. No, rail construction here is not really needed, because by the time all of this is built, the rail construction is already done. So let's have the rail construction happen somewhere over here on this peninsula piece. Yeah, we're going to overload that word with all the different meanings, don't worry. But that should all be fine, and yeah, this just has to be constructed. Speaking of constructed, helicopter crew, what are you currently doing? The answer is, what do you want us to do? And my answer would be, start with this. We do need this to be connected. By this, I mean the road that's left over here. We would like you to be connected to something. Okay. Take you back a little bit there, and then you can just kind of feed into this. Beautiful. Look at that. There's a connection now. Connection made. And that should be fine. We still need power, we still need water, we still need sewage, we still need extra water for the cement and other plants, so that's fine. Workers we get here from currently Bohavery. Sure. Those workers can come from there via bus. Don't need a lot, but eventually we're going to get the workers probably from here, because this one is going to construct more than you think. I would think it will actually help constructing the industrial zone here. It will construct the city there. It will potentially construct the city here. It will construct the farming that I feel like I should not neglect any further if I want to have a chance to produce enough crops in this republic. It is relatively easy to import all the crops that we need. It's just a really large container, not container, but cargo system, and get the large ships out and make sure that that all works out. But I'm not convinced yet. A while ago I added this and now it's biting me, and I'm not surprised by that, but these signals are in the way now. What we really need is more crossovers here so we can have appropriate non-blocking construction. We just have to start signaling out the rail as it exists there. We also have to electrify the rail as it exists here. I feel pretty confident that that's actually something we can do right now. We will just lose a little bit of the connections that we've already made, but that should be okay. I don't want that one to be electrified. I just want the existing ones to be electrified, because the rest we're just going to take down anyways. Now we may as well do this while we're there, and these while we're there as well, and then we should be okay. Great. Where's my rail construction crane? Wasn't there someone here? We lost all our rail construction assignments, and I had to do the first one manually anyways, but this will totally mean more progress. So, speaking of progress, there should be more next time. I have no intentions right now to let this run ahead much or any, really, because I feel like we're making enough progress and the things that we need to do are actually happening here. And it's just going to be a matter of time until we have all the things that we actually want to have done in the area. And I think one of the next pieces is to actually fix the helicopter repair setup on the original peninsula, to make sure that these guys are not as slow as they have been recently, at least for some time. Cool. That sounds good. Are we full on workers in the city over here? I would think that we aren't. No. So there should be nobody without their own flat, but they haven't all moved in here yet, which is a little concerning, but it seems to be okay. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.